What a nice win for the Utah Jazz against the Chicago Bulls. They look like the pre-All-Star break Utah Jazz. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Monster night from Rudy Gobert tonight. We'll talk about Rudy, we'll talk about Donovan, and we'll talk about the best player in the NBA, Joe Ingles. But first, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls. I was excited to watch the Bulls tonight because I haven't seen much of them this year. You guys know my love for Otto Porter, and I was interested to see him tonight because he's coming off the bench. He has that big contract. There's the rumors about Otto Porter possibly being bought out, and so he's one of those guys that I would love to see the Jazz get. If he gets bought out, that's a dream come true for the Jazz. And he just looks kind of lost on that Bulls team. Otto Porter tonight was 1 for 4 from the field. He played 19 minutes. He did have 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He's one of those guys that quietly contributes. He was only a -7 for the game, but that shot was not falling, although he only took 1 3, which is strange because Otto Porter shoots, as we know, he's a 40+% three-point shooter. So it will be interesting to see if the Chicago Bulls get rid of Otto Porter and the Jazz can pick him up, because he would be just such a great pickup for the Utah Jazz. I'm telling you, he would be fantastic. For the Chicago Bulls, I was actually really nervous about this a little bit because Zach LaVine is a flamethrower, and tonight he was 7 for 14 from the field. Or no, that wasn't Zach. 10 for 25 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3. So the 3 was falling. He scored 25 points. I felt like he could have done better if he'd have just been shooting threes. It's weird that he takes 10 threes, and I feel like he could have shot more, because what was happening is he was going to the rim, and we know who was at the rim was this guy. Right there, Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert had a near triple-double tonight with blocks because the Bulls, for some reason, were just attacking him relentlessly. That must have been their game plan. They must have been like, you know what? Everyone avoids Gobert. We're going at Gobert, and we saw how that went. It did not go well. It did not go well. So that strategy was proven ineffective tonight, although all Jazz fans who have ever seen Rudy Gobert play more than maybe one time could tell you that that was not going to go well. And you know what? It's fun to watch when teams do that, honestly. I hope every team does that. I wish they did. Please, go at Rudy. Please. I enjoy triple doubles with blocks for Rudy. I enjoy them. It's nice. You know who I also like, who's quietly one of those players that I would watch at the trade deadline, is Thaddeus Young. He was 7 for 14 from the field, 9 rebounds. He had 14 points. He was only a -2 in like a 25-point loss, whatever it was for tonight. Tonight it was a 25-point loss, and Thaddeus Young was only a -2. He's one of those guys that if I'm the Jazz, I would look at trading for, if you could. I don't know if you can, but my gosh, he was so solid tonight for the Bulls. And he only played 25 minutes. So I don't know what's going on there, but my goodness, with the struggling Derek Favors, it's one of those names to think about maybe you can somehow pry him away and he can be a solid backup for you. I don't know, but he was really solid for them tonight. Although, Derek Favors has looked a little better recently than he did. There was like a 10 or 15 game stretch there where Derek Favors looked just terrible. And tonight he was actually really solid, getting offensive rebounds. He's one of those guys that gets his hands on balls, so there would be loose balls all over the place, and Derek Favors would get his hands on them, and it was great. Brian Corzo, welcome to the channel, Brian. Welcome to Rookie, baby. You're on the team. Welcome, Brian. Everyone say welcome to Brian in the chat. He's now part of the team. Don't haze him. Let's see. Joe Ingles emojis. I love it. DW championship emojis. I love it. Rudy was all right. Yeah, he was okay. A near triple-double with blocks. Pretty good. So let's talk about the Jazz. The story of the night is obviously Rudy Gobert, but there were 3 guys tonight that had monster games. But Rudy Gobert, like we've talked about, they decided to just challenge Gobert, and that's bonkers. Why would you do that? Go at Rudy Gobert, and you're going to find out what happens. And tonight we saw, and it's that he gets lots of blocks, and he destroys people at the rim, and he ruins people's confidence. And he should have had 10 if the stupid referees wouldn't have called a foul on that shot. And then he blocked another one. He should have had 11 blocks tonight, but the other one bounced in because Jazz fans can't have anything nice. We just can't. DW 199. Thank you, sir. Jazz going all the way. Yes, sir, DW. DW. I wonder if that's for Darren Williams, DW. If it is, let me know. Jorge Arizaga, 50 Mexican pesos. Gracias, amigo. That was Rudy's triple-double in my heart. Yes, it was a triple-double in all of our hearts, Jorge. I love it. And I agree. It should have been a 20, 10, and 11 is what it should have been. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Put on the metal hats. They didn't want him to get it. They didn't want him to. I swear it. I'm just kidding. Rudy was all right. Yeah, he was okay. Nice to see the Jazz blow out a team when Bojan, Clarkson, and Yang are still in their slump. Yes, Bojan's in the worst slump I've ever seen. He looks terrible. Terrible. For some reason, that three just won't fall. You know, he's looking at least a little more confident, but that three-point shot will not fall for some reason, and eventually it will, and it'll be crazy. Because guess what? It feels like he's been on a slump the entire season. You know? We've been doing this with Bojan shooting like this the entire year. Imagine if Bojan actually shoots 40-something% every single game, and he can take 10 of them and make 4. The offense goes thermonuclear. You know, it goes crazy, but it's just not happening right now, and I don't know why. The number 2 guy you got to talk about tonight was Donovan Mitchell, who was absolutely insane. Oh, Levon Panhorse, thank you so much, sir. $2.99, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Brian Corzo with the cool Ingles emoji, the headband emoji. I love it, and that's who we're going to talk about after. But first, we got to talk about Donovan Mitchell. I gotta stay focused. I'm losing my mind here. Donovan Mitchell goes 11 for 19 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line with 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 30 points, only 3 turnovers with 6 assists, and lo and behold, he dominates. When he keeps that assist to turnover ratio in the positive for the assist, 2-to-1, I'll take it. You know, if you're playing Call of Duty and you're 2-to-1 every game, that's pretty good kill-death ratio, right? I'll take it. I'll take it. It's better than being 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. You're not getting any amps or rewards or drop downs or whatever they do in Call of Duty these days. But this is what Donovan Mitchell needs to do. When he's doing the 6-to-3 assist to turnover ratio, yes, mama. Yes, mama. And by the way, if Bojan Bogdanovic would have hit a few of his corner threes, then Donovan Mitchell would have also almost had a triple-double. That's the joke from the night from SLC Dunk. I had to say it twice because I liked it. I made myself laugh. I had to share it with you. Let's see. Shantheric, $2. I want Daddy Ingles appreciation. We're getting there. But we got to talk about Donovan Mitchell, guys. Do you know how good that is? Those numbers are insane. When he's able to put up those numbers, the Jazz are absolute contenders. And it's crazy that they can play like this and have Bojan Bogdanovic just be an absolute zero. Bojan Bogdanovic tonight, 3 for 14 from the field for 21%, 0 for 5 from 3 for 8 points. How is it still happening? How? He shoots the ball. When did he get monstered? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's talk about Joe Ingles, the best player in the NBA. He does not miss three-pointers. Let me throw a stat at you. 18 for 22. That is how many that is what Joe Ingles has shot from 3 in the last 3 games. Do you know what that is? That is 81%. He is an 81% three-point shooter right now. Literally an 81% three-point shooter. The Jazz have a player on their team that just decided he's not going to miss three-point shots anymore. And me, as a basketball watcher, feel as though that's a good strategy. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I sure do. I feel like that Joe Ingles, when he decided to not miss any more three-pointers, that was a good idea. What a good idea. And you know what? I would not mind if the rest of the Utah Jazz decided to do it. You know, it seems to me that if the Jazz want a leader on this team, it's Joe Ingles, and they need to follow the leader. Why are they missing three-point shots? Joe Ingles has shown that you don't need to miss three-point shots. That's a silly thing to do. It's a shot that everyone on the Jazz can make. Joe Ingles has just shown you that, you know, shooting 40% from 3 is a bad three-point percentage. He shoots double that right now. If you're a 40% three-point shooter, Joe Ingles looks at you and says, "Hello, peasant. You shoot half of what I shoot from 3. You are not as good at basketball as me. Oh, Stephen Curry, you shoot what, 42% from three? That is not as good as me, Joe Ingles, who shoots 81% from three. You are not as much of a man as I am, the great Joe Ingles, who comes from Australia and brings us the strategy of not missing shots. Joe Ingles tonight shoots 5 for 6 from three, 6 for 8 from the field. He doesn't miss twos either. And then he also comes at you with 7 rebounds. And you know what? He only did 1 assist because guess what? When you don't miss 3-pointers, assists are dumb. Why would you get a 2-point shot when you're Joe Ingles and you can get a 3-point shot? That's just dumb. And we know that Joe Ingles is not dumb, right? Who thinks Joe Ingles is dumb? I don't. You know why? Because he makes all his threes. And that's a smart thing to do. It's a smart thing to do. And I just think that if all the Jazz players followed suit, we would win a lot more games. That's just my guess. The Jazz are what, 31-11 now, 32-11. They're better than everyone else in the league. It doesn't even matter. And it's partly because of Joe Ingles. And in all seriousness, this ability for Joe Ingles to shoot the ball like this, which is absolutely ludicrous, has helped the Jazz get through a Bojan Bogdanovic slump, a Jordan Clarkson slump, he's slumping right now, guys. 1 for 8 from 3 tonight for Jordan Clarkson. It's not been good lately. He needs to get better. But just think about that. Because of the great Joe Ingles, the Jazz are overcoming slumps from multiple guys. And when you have Donovan Mitchell shooting like this, and Joe Ingles shooting like this, and Rudy Gobert just absolutely blowing things up like a freaking grenade under the rim, it's incredible. It's incredible. So it's really great. Levon Panhurst, thank you, sir. $4.99. I appreciate it so much. What if the Jazz face the 8-seed Lakers with Davis and James at full strength? I'm nervous about the seedings at the end of the year. Bring them on. Bring them on, Levon. We have Joe Ingles. We have Joe Ingles who shoots 5 for 6 from 3. I'd like to see LeBron James shoot 5 or 6 from 3. Guess what? He can't because he is not as good as Joe Ingles is right now. He didn't even play tonight. I'm speaking blasphemy tonight, but I'm serious. When the Jazz have all their guys shooting, guess what? The Jazz are beating the Bulls tonight by 25 points, and they had Jordan Clarkson go 1 for 8 from 3, and Bojan Bogdanovic couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. 0 for 5. I think the Jazz have a very good shot. I actually feel like if they can make a trade with Bojan Bogdanovic for, if they can get Larry Nance, or they can go get, Harrison Barnes would be an absolute dream. But if they can go get, who's the guy in Atlanta? John Collins? That would be incredible. If they could find a way to get someone like that who's consistently putting up incredible numbers, that would be amazing. And I think the Jazz can compete with them. I agree, Levin, that the Lakers are scary. The Lakers really are. I mean, they're the defending champions. And when you play the Lakers in the playoffs, that means you're facing LeBron and AD. And that's as tough as a 1-2 punch as we've seen in 30 years since Jordan Pippen. It's really incredible. And so it's really tough. But the Jazz have 5 players on the floor that play their positions perfectly. They have Rudy Gobert going north and south, rolling to the rim, so you have to protect that. And what that does is draw defenders to Rudy Gobert in the rim. And now we see Rudy Gobert passing the ball out and he's hitting 3-point shooters. And we saw Derek Favors do that too. So look, you see Rudy Gobert with his near triple-double tonight. Rudy Gobert had 2 assists. And that's 6 points. You know why? Because Rudy Gobert is passing out to 3-point shooters, and they're making them. This Jazz offense is incredible. And if they get games in the playoffs where everything's clicking and everyone's hitting shots, it's scary good. My guess is the Jazz don't make a trade at this point, just because I think the fluidity of the offense is good. But what you need is Bojan Bogdanovic to hit threes. You need him to hit those badly. And you need Jordan Clarkson to be hitting threes at a high clip. And if they do that, and the Jazz live by the 3, guess what? They will live by the 3, and they will win by the 3. Because the 3-point shot is what's helping this team just dominate teams. Even when they're not playing their greatest stuff, when they're hitting their threes, and they have multiple 40+% 3-point shooters, 6 or 7 of them, which is bonkers, they can just dominate anyone on any given night. And you have Donovan Mitchell who can get you buckets in a pinch. You have Joe Ingles, who leads that second unit with Jordan Clarkson, and Joe Ingles is making a little bit of a case for Sixth Man of the Year right now. It's a really, really good team. And if Derek Favors can just be healthy enough with that second unit, you're looking at a really, really good team. Robert Hall, $2. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. It's fun to talk to you guys, by the way, on the Discord channel and on Twitter, Robert. Don't forget Rudy Gobert jump shot. That's right. The turnaround fadeaway from Rudy Gobert. That's one thing. Hey, thank you, Robert, for the reminder. I think Rudy Gobert should stop the hook shot stuff and just be a jump shooter. You know? Just jump shoot it. He can make those jump shots. If you go watch Rudy Gobert pregame, if you go watch the Jazz, he shoots the ball all the time and he makes it all the time. And Rudy Gobert is like a 60% free throw shooter, so we know he can shoot the ball. I would rather see Rudy Gobert shoot little jump shots like that, which looked decent enough, than this hook shot stuff. But I actually feel like Rudy Gobert jump spot up shooter is pretty decent. It's a decent little option when everything else is broken down. He can just pull up and make it. I'd love to see it. So nice call, Robert. Guys, I don't have a lot else to say. It was just a really fun night. I would really love to see the Utah Jazz just be more consistent like they were pre-All-Star break. The other guy you've got to talk about, and I'll do that while I pull this up. Mike Conley deserves all the credit in the world. He had, guess what? Number one plus minus for this team was Rudy Gobert. Guess who number two was? Mike Conley. Mike Conley scores 15 points. What did he have? Mike Conley tonight, 15 points. He was 3 for 5 from 3. He's hitting that 3 really consistently. And he had 4 assists. He was just quietly really solid for the Jazz. He really fills in the gaps perfectly for Utah. And so you can't say enough about Mike Conley and how perfect he's been in this role for this Jazz team. All right, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars. Tonight, Mitt Robach, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Jorge Arizaga, gracias amigo, Lee Christensen, Shan Therick, Ryan Perry, first one on the live stream, Justin Ty H, Patrick Akubo, Robert Hall, DW, Jazz going all the way, and David Lee, the first of all of us. We got another thing. Phil Bessarel, we're stuck with Bogey. Hope he turns it around. I actually feel like we might be. I hope we make a move for Larry Nance. If you guys should go check out his numbers, they are great. Did you know he leads the league in deflections while also shooting 39% from 3, which by the way is better than Bogey this year. And then also he's a rebounder, athletic defender. I would love if we could find a way to get Larry Nance, and he could be our starting power forward. And he's friends with Jordan Clarkson. And guess what? What do the Jazz do every year? We'd make a trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's do it again. Let's give him a first-round pick and Bojan Bogdanovic for Larry Nance. Let's call it good. Let's call it in. Call it in, Jazz. Let's get that guy. Because guess what? I would like to win a title. Guys, that's all I got tonight. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you want to talk in the chat and and be one of the All-Stars and get some of the monthly live stream videos that we do where we just talk like buddies, join the All-Stars. And then also if you join starters, you get some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. But you get those if you join All-Star. Make sure I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. Like and subscribe. Join the channel. Oh, yeah. Also, like they said, DW, Shantheric, join the Discord too. I think I put the link in the community. So go to the community tab, look for the link, and go join the Discord. It's fun. It's a hoops nerd community. Pretty cool. Guys, I will